Beard.
From the Fans Talk Podcast family at fanstalkpodcast.com, this is episode 267 of Fans Talk Pro Wrestling, and tonight we preview NXT Takeover Unstoppable. With us tonight is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. And Nick. Say hello, Nick.
It was Rosa Mendez making out with Adam Rose, you guys. That's important. I've heard that question a lot.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So yeah, thank you for downloading or streaming the show. Definitely go to patreon.com/fanstalk. Pledge a few dollars a month our way. It's the most direct way you can tell us that you appreciate the conversation we have each and every week. All that information is over on fanstalkpodcast.com. All right. So this week we have NXT Takeover Unstoppable. It's one of the most promoted network events that WWE has done in the longest time, as far as the time that they've devoted to it, from Payback as well as this week on Raw. They are definitely heavily promoting this event. Here's the card right now. We've got Baron Corbin versus Rhino, Bayley and Charlotte versus Emma and Dana Brooke, Finn Balor versus Tyler Breeze for the number one contendership. Hideo Itami was in that match, but he has been removed. There may or may not be a replacement. Triple H was very unclear on what's going to happen with that. We also have Blake and Murphy defending the NXT tag titles against Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Sasha Banks defends the NXT Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. And in the main event, Sami Zayn faces Kevin Owens for the NXT Championship. Overall, guys, what match are you most looking forward to?
If I gotta pick only one, I'm going with Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I think that's going to be just knockout, drag out, best match of the night.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly hard to top that one. And I kind of doubt that's going to happen just because of all the chemistry involved, how easily those two guys work with each other. I think that's going to be match of the night.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with you guys. As far as all of the matches go, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. But that's not to say the rest of the card isn't stacked. Pretty much every single match on this card should be great, except for Baron Corbin versus Rhino. So let's go there first. Baron Corbin versus Rhino. You've got the Unstoppable Force against the Unstoppable Force. Who you got, Joe?
Stupid mute button. I've got Baron Corbin, only because, come on, Rhino's got to do the job, right?
Does he, though?
There is no reason for him not to do the job.
One would think, but I think I would kind of love it if he did win. Baron Corbin's been losing his luster for me. That little series of matches he had with Bull Dempsey, I was okay with it just because Bull was losing, but I mean, Baron Corbin doesn't do anything. He stands there, looks brooding as his hairline recedes before our eyes, and that's it. Honestly, I'm ready for the winning streak, the whole unstoppable lone wolf thing to come to an end, just so we might get a little bit of character development. But I doubt that's going to happen, so I'm predicting Baron Corbin's going to win.
Yeah, no, Rhino has to lose. I agree with that. It makes... This whole match doesn't make sense. I just don't see like why Rhino would come in and that Baron Corbin would be the guy that he would go after. Usually see these veterans go after the top guy, and Baron Corbin is definitely not him.
They're giving him that build. They want him to be one of those top guys.
But the fans have quickly turned on Baron as well. I mean, like, this isn't just criticism from us. It seems to be pretty universal right now. The chant I heard this week was, Baron's gonna bore you.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a Baron. You bring him to the main roster, you team him with King Barrett, you've got like royalty and shit.
No, I don't think that partnership would work at all. I don't think there's anything you could really do with him because he is he is what they've created with him, which is this. It's almost like Ryback without charisma as far as how they're building him, how he's just going through people and just destroying them. And
maybe he needs to read The Secret.
Maybe that's it.
I think they missed a boat on him, honestly. They should have done something better with him after he got done with Bull, and he's just gotten stagnant.
Who's in charge of booking besides Triple H in NXT?
Dusty?
Damn it, Dusty.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I got.
His matches are not very interesting, but Rhino's matches have never been that interesting. He's been the same guy for years. So, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this match. I think this is the worst match that's on the show. But at least it's not Mojo Rawley, so there's that.
True. I mean, this should be the TakeOver kickoff match, especially if it's not actually on the show. If it's like a pre-show thing, they should just do that. Give other matches some more time.
Yeah, and I could see it. I don't think that's the plan, but this is one of 6 matches that's going to be taking place. It's a 2-hour event, so it's possible. It's possible that they might move something to a pre-show. I'm not seeing anything listed like that right now, though.
No, I doubt they're actually having a pre-show, but I agree. If they have any sense at all, this will be the opening match.
All right, Bayley and Charlotte partner up to take on Emma and the newcomer Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke is kind of like almost like a Beth Phoenix type, as far as the powerhouse, a little bit more charisma, but definitely green at this point. So, but overall, what's your opinions of Dana Brooke on her very short debut? I think she's only been here for about 3 weeks, and her entrance into this feud overall.
See, I don't get Beth Phoenix. I get Caitlyn cross with Oksana if you made Oksana sluttier. Because, my God, that debut match was straight out of a strip club. I don't think there was a moment where she wasn't feeling herself up.
I need to go back and watch this match because I don't remember that at all, and I could use the material.
It was bad, that opening match.
See, I just remember her being a powerhouse. That's where I can see the...
That's where the Caitlyn comes in.
Oh, see, I see it. That's more where the Beth Phoenix bit comes in. I can kind of see a little bit of the Caitlyn.
It's the muscles, the muscles remind me of Beth Phoenix, like just the overall build.
Right. And I hope that's where they take things with her. It's just, I haven't really been that impressed with her. And it seems like sex appeal is the biggest part of her character right now. Hopefully that'll change with this match now that she's going up against, I mean, not that Alexa Bliss wasn't competent talent, but yeah, Bayley and Charlotte are 2 of the top divas in NXT, so I hope maybe she's going to learn something from them.
By the way, Blue is asking in the live chat, how the hell could you make Oksana sluttier?
We need to bring up Oksana later on in the show because it's something just occurred to me and I don't want to get off of NXT for it. So,
but yeah, Oksana didn't really feel herself up when she was in the ring. That was reserved for entrances.
Oh man.
Now Maurice, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, but the main feud right now is basically Emma versus Bayley. Charlotte's in there. Obviously Dana Brooke is going after Charlotte. So, just overall this match, who you got?
Nick, go for it.
I'm guessing Bayley and Charlotte. I think Emma's already had her time where she was getting the better of Bayley, and I figured this will be the wrap for that particular feud. And Charlotte and Dana don't really have a feud going on. Dana said that she was pissed off because Charlotte got the spot in the tap out ad, not her.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not really feud material, I don't think. Not long-term feud. So I imagine it'll get settled here.
See, and I'm thinking it's going to be Emma and Dana Brooke because they still need to continue the build with Dana to make her credible for any future matches. And not that she doesn't have credibility right now. She's obviously a good worker, but she's still a little bit green. So I think if she goes over as the strong person in her tag team and gets the win, I think it'll work a lot better for her and develop her more as that heel.
I disagree with the idea that you can't start a feud over something petty and small like this. I think you can easily start the feud with this. Will it drive the feud? No. I mean, you've got to move on from this point, but a loss here for Dana Brooke would definitely push that, or, a win here for Dana Brooke would definitely push Charlotte to strive for that rematch to prove that she's the alpha woman here.
I'm not saying that you can't derive a long-term feud from that. I just doubt that they will, given how new Dana is and the fact that I doubt Charlotte's going to be around long. Plus, there's the obvious disparity in their skill levels. I don't think Charlotte can make Dana look good.
Wow, really? So Charlotte's not good enough to do that?
I don't think Dana's good enough to work up to a level where Charlotte can get down to.
Wow, that's an odd statement.
Can you work well enough for a level for Charlotte to come down to? Insert joke about Charlotte going down.
I don't know. I think Charlotte is good enough to be able to push someone and, say she is ready to move up. I mean, we all feel that way. This could be her last feud. I think that would be sufficient.
I would want Charlotte's last feud to be with Bayley, because they've never really had that actual feud ender. And I think they really need it in order to make Bayley a better character. Well, not a better character, but just to build her up a little bit more.
But why do they have to face off? I mean, they've obviously not done a whole lot with it anymore. Why do they need to go back to it? I mean, they obviously didn't think it was working.
They got to the point. Well, it was working. They got to the point where Charlotte respected Bayley, but they never really went beyond that to where, I guess you could say, Bayley is on Charlotte's level. Like, Charlotte considers her to be on her level. I think you just need that one more match. Kind of like what we've been wanting with Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell in TNA, and we haven't gotten that yet. I think we need that with Bayley and Charlotte too.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Bayley and Charlotte with the win here. I think Dana Brooke needs to have some kind of strong performance, but yeah, overall, I don't think a win here from Dana Brooke is necessary. But Bayley and Charlotte, I think, would be just the better booked decision. Just seeing how things go, and a loss here for Dana Brooke would definitely put her in a position to continue to chase upwards. So, and that's always a good thing.
Fair enough.
All right, next up, Finn Balor versus Tyler Breeze for the number one contendership. This is still slated as a triple threat match. Hideo Itami was in this spot. However, it was announced today by Triple H, today being Tuesday. It was announced by Triple H in an NXT call that Hideo Itami was not cleared to wrestle, so he will be represented, is what he said. So that could be, someone else on the roster, being moved up into this spot, or there's been talk about some guys maybe debuting in this spot. So where do you guys stand? What do you see? Is there anyone on the roster right now that you would want to see put into Hideo's spot?
Clearly, Itami is going to be represented by his good friend Funaki.
That would be hilarious. I don't think so. Is Mojo Rawley still employed? I'm kidding.
Ew.
You ewing that I'm kidding, or are you ewing that the idea?
I'm ewing that you mentioned his name.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna say something absurd, I might as well just go really absurd. Maybe he'll be no, that won't work either. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody's gonna take the spot. I think the last minute call is gonna be nothing.
I'm kind of wondering, now that you mentioned new arrivals, I don't think we have any idea what his name in the WWE is, but Uhaa Nation, they've been making a big deal about him coming around. So I don't know.
That's a little early, isn't it?
It is. It's just, I can't really think of an established top guy that isn't already involved in something. And I mean, they've shot guys right to the top before. I mean, look at Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Okay, here's one. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's the other major rumor right now is Samoa Joe has been signed by NXT and they would put him in that spot.
I remember reading somewhere, I can't remember where, Triple H was asked about Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't know yet if we really want to do business. something to that effect.
Could that be a cover up?
I don't think that's his exact words, but yeah, it was something. It was basically a quick brush off of the question.
Yeah, I doubt. I don't know. I just don't see Joe in that spot yet. I think they'll want to make a big deal about him being rebranded.
They should bring back Paige and put her in the match.
So I'm looking at the roster right now. You've got a couple guys that might be worth putting in there. You do have Sin Cara and Kalisto, even though they've got a match on Elimination Chamber. You also have Neville. He's still on the NXT roster officially, at least according to WWE.com.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Bo Dallas is a possibility. I'm serious. I mean, think about, if they're not going to really do anything with him on the main roster, I know they're trying to start something, but
yeah, they just started something.
Doesn't mean they couldn't come over here for cannon fodder. It's not like other feuds haven't been doing it the other way.
You've also got Jason Jordan.
Who?
Possibly.
He's been off TV the last few weeks, but he's been looking pretty good. Aiden English and Simon Gotch have been off TV for a while.
That's true.
If you're going to mention Jason Jordan, I think the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, also deserves consideration.
The only other name that's on the roster that I would even consider putting in that spot is Brian Kendrick, just because he is a veteran that can put on a good match and
he's a man with a plan.
And I think he could definitely put over both of those guys.
I didn't realize he was officially on the roster.
Yeah.
Could be.
So, okay. Those are some names of people that you might want to put up there. Live chat, Beanbags in a live chat is saying Bull Dempsey. Nope. But yeah. Outside
you did realize that was a joke, right? Oh, no, I said Mojo. Never mind.
Yeah. Outside of that, we got Finn Balor. We've got Tyler Breeze. Who do you see winning and being pushed into that number one contendership spot?
Man, with this one, I'm just totally unsure. I'm actually going to go with Balor. I think Balor's still got more to do. I think he's got more fan base behind him than Tyler Breeze, and I think that's going to work out given my prediction for the NXT Championship, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah, I think you and me are very much in the same boat here, Joe. I think Balor is going to come out on top. Personally, I'm thinking it's just going to be Balor versus Breeze. I don't think there will be a third contestant added to this match. I think Itami's quote-unquote representation is just that he's going to be in the building, and he might come out at the end promising when he gets better, he's coming for whoever won. But yeah, I don't necessarily know about the bigger fan base. Definitely the bigger push, but yeah, Balor versus Owens just makes more sense to me. And spoilers, I'm predicting Kevin Owens is going to win.
I'm gonna disagree with you guys. I'm gonna go with Tyler Breeze. I think, it's about time they see what Tyler Breeze can really do. And he's been in the spot before. I thought he excelled. I don't think he was the best of the bunch at the time, but right now, Finn Balor, yes, I think he's got a major future. But Tyler Breeze has everything you want out of a guy right now, and I think, for me at least, I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler Breeze back in that main event spot. But live chat is throwing out another option that we didn't really talk about, and that is the idea of Baron Corbin versus Rhino becoming a qualifier match. Do you see that as a possibility, and does that change your vote for this?
Who said that?
That was Blue.
Blue, shut the fuck up. That would be a terrible idea. I'm really hoping that you just said it for the comedy aspect of it, but God, if you didn't.
Well, he says he could see Rhino versus Owens.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could see them. I don't know if I could see Owens powerbombing Rhino, though.
Oh, that would be glorious if he did, though.
I can see them making that sort of stipulation, and I can see them inserting Baron Corbin into that match. I really don't want to see it, but that's too much of a possibility to really ignore.
Yeah. I can definitely see it as well as far as the match goes, but it does not change my prediction at all. I'm still going to go with Tyler Breeze.
No, me neither.
Okay, cool. Tag team championships. We've got Blake and Murphy versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Do we finally get to see Big Cass and Enzo holding gold in NXT?
Damn straight you do. It's their time, baby. It's their time.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what really put the final nail in that particular coffin for me was when Carmella was able to face down Blake and Murphy by herself without even needing Enzo Cass to back her up. And yeah, it really is time. Those two have been together far too long. They've gone through far too much for this not to happen.
Yeah, no disagreement. I want to see it. It needs to happen. This is the time to do it. Blake and Murphy really haven't done anything for me. They've always been transitional champions for me, and I think transitioning it to Enzo and Colin is a great move.
Plus, Wesley Blake's top knot is fucking stupid.
The whole gimmick, everything about Blake and Murphy, I'm not
what
behind.
Gimmick?
Yeah, I'm not behind. So, but yeah, this is their time. They are completely over. It makes absolute sense. You've got to move forward with it. Okay, cool. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship. Will the boss be dethroned?
Not this time. I don't think Becky Lynch is the person to do it. I'm definitely expecting a great match, but I don't know. I'm thinking Bayley is going to be the one to take the belt from Sasha Banks.
Nick, I love when you're wrong.
I'm sorry I have to keep disappointing you, Joe.
No, I think that Becky's gonna do it before Bayley ever will. Not for lack of deserving it, because Bayley definitely does deserve a run. She's worked her ass off, and it shows. But I see Becky Lynch being the better competitor right now.
Man, all right. For the tiebreaker, I'm gonna have to agree with Nick. Sasha Banks retains. Becky Lynch puts on a good show for sure. I think Becky is definitely one of the better divas down there in NXT. She is improved tenfold over the last 6 to 8 weeks. Like just complete 180 from like where she was when she first partnered up with Sasha. But yeah, at this point, I just don't see her being better than Sasha. So I can't see it. I can't see the change. As far as who takes the title off of Sasha eventually, Bayley would be nice, but if they haven't done it yet, I don't know when they will, you know?
Yep.
Because it seems like she's always been there.
Just that close.
Yeah, I mean, she's always been in the list of people that we would want to see hold the title, and she's never won the match, or she's never been put in that spot. So, you know, I definitely agree that she is deserving. She's definitely earned our respect, but I don't know if she has a strong enough character yet to do that. She needs something else.
I think she's been in the process of getting that something else, namely with this feud with Emma, where Emma talks about bringing out that mean streak that you kind of need as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I mean, if nothing else, just the comparisons to Sami Zayn makes me think, yeah, it might be a slow burn. It might be a long run, but yeah, I think it is going to happen.
But does that feud with Charlotte, you know, the one that you think is going to happen, do you think that happens before the title run, or do you think that involves the title?
I think that comes afterward. I think that comes after Bayley takes a belt from Sasha. And the feud leading up to that point will be pretty good. Bayley and Sasha have pretty good chemistry, and they've got a lot of beef. And I figure once Bayley has a belt, Charlotte will gun for her, saying something to the effect of, all right, I respect you, but clearly I'm the better champion. I am genetically superior. I have the Flair name, woo. And it'll be up to Bayley to prove Charlotte wrong that no, she can be a better champion, that she totally does deserve that belt.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the main event. NXT Championship is on the line. Sami Zayn finally gets his rematch against Kevin Owens. Predictions.
Since we already heard Nick's,
Yeah.
I'm going with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, I mean, he's saying I think he's got all the motivation. I haven't seen that motivation necessarily out of Sami Zayn. I mean, outside of I want to get my title back. I think Owens has done a much better job conveying the emotion for this feud, especially on the last NXT where they confronted each other at the end of the show. And Zayn's like, is this because your kid likes me and wears the Sami Zayn shirt? And you could just see him just get so mad, so frustrated. And he's just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to break you. I am just going to destroy you. Like the reactions he gave and his style and his ring work has been fantastic. So I really think that Owens is telling a better story here, especially when he says, next week on Raw, I'm bringing the NXT Championship, and it's going to be us going. Wait, was it for next week? It's going to be
Elimination
Owens,
Chamber.
Oh, it's Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's retaining through Elimination Chamber. Right now, I mean, that's not a U.S. title match, is it?
No.
I figure it's going to be champion versus champion.
Just a champion versus champion thing. And then I would love to see Owens win that. I mean, I love the fact that he laid out Cena. I like the cross reading, I guess it could be said, or the cross show,
cross promotion.
Thanks. Cross promotion. Thank you. I've got the tarded. Yeah, the cross promotion between the two shows. Like, I love the fact that now to get the full story, you've got to watch both. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Cena going to NXT to get the Raw viewers over there, but at least it's raising a lot of awareness for NXT for the general Raw viewer. But yeah, going back to the original topic here, Kevin Owens is going to win this. Sami Zayn is going to be injured or something, and then after that, I could see him going to the main roster.
So, okay, let's talk about this as well as what happened on Raw this week with Kevin Owens. Do you feel, after what he said to John Cena on Raw, do you feel like he needs to take the NXT title with him to Elimination Chamber to keep that match at Elimination Chamber as important as it is right now? I
think so. And if he does do that and wins, it means even more for the NXT Championship, because whoever is going to beat Kevin Owens is also going to say, I beat the guy who beat John Cena. I beat the one in 21-1. It's that kind of feel to it. Cause I mean, Cena's Cena. I mean, you can't, he is definitely the measuring stick for WWE now. If you're looking for someone who's going to be great, they've got to be able to go over on Cena, and for Cena to give that nod, even the way they did it in the ring on Monday night with a pop-up powerbomb, even with that, to get as much as that nod, it means that there's something really special there.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, you look at who Cena has beat in the last 6 weeks alone, including Rusev, including Sami Zayn, including Neville, for Kevin Owens to be the guy to stop Cena, not even be about the title. That is huge. That means they have some confidence in him over any other of those three guys, which is crazy. So, so I'm going to change my vote. Originally, when we were going in here, I was going to go with Sami Zayn, but just because of what happened this week on Raw, just because of the overall excitement that people have in Kevin Owens right now, I feel like WWE needs to keep the title on him so that he retains that momentum and he uses that as he heads back into Elimination Chamber. So yeah, Kevin Owens wins. So, just looking at the card as far as our predictions go, we've got Baron Corbin going over Rhino, Bayley and Charlotte defeating Emma and Dana Brooke, Finn Balor becoming the number one contender, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy becoming your new NXT Tag Team Champions, Sasha Banks retaining the NXT Women's Championship, and Kevin Owens retaining the NXT Championship. Sounds like a fantastic show.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be must watch, I think.
It sounds better than Payback.
All right. Well, speaking of Payback, let's go ahead and go into the show. Here are the quick results. We had R-Truth defeating Stardust, The Ascension defeating Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow. Both of those matches were in the kickoff. Sheamus defeated Dolph. The New Day retained the tag team titles. Bray Wyatt defeated Ryback. Cena retained the U.S. Championship. Naomi and Tamina defeating the Bellas. Neville defeating King Barrett via countout. And Rollins retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What was the best match on the card?
The 2 out of 3 falls match, I think, takes it for me. The main event was pretty good, and I enjoyed Neville versus Barrett, but the New Day was just so perfect in that match, especially Xavier Woods. From the nonstop smack talking he was issuing from outside the ring, both at people in the ring and out of it. And when they had that "This is awesome" chant, and Xavier Woods is talking about, "We are well aware. We are aware." And then finally that spot where he rolls up Cesaro for the win. I think that was just great on all counts.
That was a great moment. Like, I looked at that and I just started laughing. My wife looks at me and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You totally missed it." And I rewound it and showed it to her again. She's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "You don't get it? That was brilliant." And slightly racist.
No, I don't know.
I can see how they look exactly the same though, in that aspect.
I don't, but then the ref wasn't able to see the guy pinning Cesaro. Woods pinned Cesaro so that he was between him and the ref.
Yeah, so the ref only saw his back. They were wearing the same pants. So, I mean, for me, it made sense that the ref didn't notice, especially because it was so quick and he was out of the ring, within a few seconds.
Yeah, let's be clear. The only racists that were involved in this match at all was commentary, and that's because Cole cannot tell Kofi and Xavier apart, and I don't understand for the life of me how that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Kofi and Xavier Woods are similar in size, so I can definitely see it. Blue is saying, it's not like they're trying to pass off Xavier for Big E. So yeah, this made sense, just because it happened so quickly. So yeah, I was okay with the ending. I know there was some grief given on Twitter and Facebook, but yeah, for the most part, I enjoyed it. Joe, what was your favorite match?
It had to be Cena versus Rusev. It was a really quick, short match. No, I'm kidding. I mean, just looking over the card, I really wish I could say that it was the main event, but it wasn't. Ryback versus Bray Wyatt was pretty solid. I mean, if I'm not going to go with the 2 out of 3 falls match, because, well, it's a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match, I have to like it because I'm Joe who loves tag team matches. I think that the Ryback Bray Wyatt match is actually pretty good.
The best storytelling Ryback's ever had.
You think? Or
he actually faked an injury, so yeah, that's the full extent of the storytelling he's ever had. But
I mean, because they had the bit with Punk, so that entire storyline, or unless you're talking just in the context of a match.
Yeah, just as far as the story you tell with your match.
Oh, well then yes, I would agree.
I mean, unless a better story involves all the controversy about you breaking people unintentionally. In that case, Ryback's the best storyteller WWE's had in years.
Did you see him? By the way, this is an aside, but did you see his? Wasn't it Ryback versus Sheamus this week?
Yeah, the way he just tossed Sheamus at the table.
Yeah, onto the commentary table. It was like almost shoulder first.
That was fucking brutal.
Dusty.
Oh man! All right, so all right, Joe, you talked about the main event. You didn't want to give it your match of the night. Why not? What didn't you like about the main event? What I
did like were some of the spots like the triple power bomb and how Ambrose and Reigns then turned on Rollins. Like when he was all into it, throwing out the fist, that was great. Some of the just the combos and moves. I think Ambrose did a really good job in that match, but I just found that Orton ruined the match. His presence. I don't think he was needed. I would have much rather seen this match as a Shield reunion headbutting thing. All 3 guys in the Shield finally settling their dispute any disputes they have at this point. We're going to settle it right here. It seemed every bit seemed a little separated. Like, here's Act 1, here's Act 2, here's Act 3, and here's the coda.
Yeah, but if you were going to tease a Shield reunion, you needed that fourth guy there. So, but that's really the only time that Randy Orton was
valid.
Worth having in that match. Otherwise, I'm in agreement with you. He was the third wheel almost. And yeah, it was really, I don't know. Like, yeah, it was almost disappointing that he was involved because that's what you wanted to see. You wanted to see Ambrose and Reigns getting their hands back on Rollins. You wanted to see how Reigns and Ambrose were going to work together or work against each other. So, I think there was enough story there that you didn't need Orton involved at all.
Yeah, it seems like we're not the only ones that think that, because as the weeks have gone by, I've noticed that Orton really isn't that popular, even as a face, as a heel. Like when they brought up, I can't remember the segment it was on Raw, where they mentioned Orton's name and it got a little pop. And they mentioned Reigns' name and Reigns got a bigger pop, which surprised me. And then they mentioned Ambrose's name and he got the biggest pop. And of course, that made sense. But when they had the triple threat match announced, they had that poll. Do you want Rollins versus Reigns, Rollins versus Orton, or do you want a triple threat match? Rollins versus Orton was the lowest polled match. So it really does seem to me that the audience as a whole is just not caring about Orton anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you are choosing the worst scenario for Rollins. So the best match probably would have been with Reigns, but in story, the worst scenario is the triple threat match. But let me counter what you're saying. Beanbags in the chat is completely disagreeing with you and saying that Orton was the most over guy in that match. I don't remember that. I didn't get that feeling.
I don't accept opinions as being valid when they come from a man named Beanbags.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone else
we
in
named
the
him
chat,
that, but still.
Do you remember that? Because for some reason, I do remember the reactions to Reigns and the reactions to Ambrose, but I don't remember any significant happenings or reactions to what Orton did in that match.
Yes, I seriously don't either. The only big pops I can remember are that tease Shield reunion for the triple powerbomb, and really that's the only major moment that stands out to me. But yeah, Orton didn't do anything particularly memorable other than the powerbomb spot. There was that spot where Ambrose and Reigns were left standing outside by themselves, and we don't really have much else left to do.
Yeah, I really
Loser
don't.
buys beers.
I really don't remember Orton doing a whole lot in that match. I guess, I was just so enthralled in everything else that was happening that mentally he was just a non-factor. But yeah, and like Diva Joe in the live chat is saying the similar thing, that she doesn't really remember much happening with Orton at all during that match.
There was that little string of RKOs on J&J and Kane, but other than that, I just remember that as that being fed into Rollins hitting the kind of pedigree. Yeah,
that's ignorable when you've got the authority.
That's involved. What they should call it. When he does it, the kind of pedigree. Kind of like the SKO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about that. The pedigree now looks to be Rollins' finisher, his new finisher. So, what do you think? Do you like that he's going from the curb stop to the pedigree?
I don't, but mostly because I think the curb stomp was just such a perfect move for him. And I haven't decided yet if he can't hit the pedigree correctly or if he's trying to put his own spin on it. Because hooking the arms and then as you drop, letting them go to shove the guy down into the mat, it kind of makes sense from a physics standpoint. Like you're adding that extra little bit of force and you're kind of making it your own. But I don't know. The way it hit with Orton just seemed like a botch. But then he did it again against Ambrose. So I'm still not sure.
Yeah, I think the Orton one was awkward.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's like his style. I think it's just a matter of it's a new move for him.
Yeah. It's definitely he's definitely not used to doing it. It's kind of like watching The Miz put in the figure four. Like, he can do it. It just doesn't look great, you know?
Yeah.
You know, maybe he hooked it, but he hooked it with the wrong part of the arm. Like, so he's like got it by his wrists as opposed to like around near his arm.
And it slips out mid execution.
Yeah. Or like he jumps awkwardly. You know, he doesn't have the jump down yet. Or, you know, maybe he didn't bang Steph yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably weird for a guy who actually can jump. So
he just goes flying over and it turns into a vertebraker on himself. Yeah, but
okay, let's get this over with. John Cena versus Rusev, almost 28 minutes this match was. Way too long, I think. But I think overall the match was fine up until the end. So my major complaint with this is that for whatever reason, if it's either a John Cena thing or just an I Quit match thing, but for some reason WWE cannot be creative with these finishes anymore. It seems like it's the same match over and over again, and they aren't trying to do anything differently from the last time. You know, John Cena was an I Quit match or anything like that.
I mean, Cena always wins the I Quit match. I told you that before. You didn't agree. In your faces.
Well, because you're hoping. I mean, like I was hoping
right.
that they would do something different.
But I think they did in having Lana make the call. I really wish they would have come out and said that he actually didn't quit. You know, that none of that string of Bulgarian gobbledygook.
Yeah.
As far as the English speaking audience goes, nobody could translate it. If he actually didn't do it and she, you know, did it out of pure love for him, you know, she doesn't want to see him in pain like that, then you've got an interesting story coming out of it. But if he actually said it and she's like, oh, nobody said it, but she loves, you know, she did it for his own good, but he actually said it like they're saying it is currently, to me, that really just hurts Rusev. I think it would have been a much better thing if they came out and said he didn't say it. She threw in the towel for him, and then, you know, maybe spin something off of that. B-Megs brings up the pyro spot check. The pyro spot check. Okay. The pyro spot, annoying because you could easily tell he was probably about 5 feet away from the pyro when he got the AA. And the fact that it went off, like, a tapping of the button, one little spark. Dropping him 5 feet away, you figure Vince's limo blew up. But, I mean, apparently we're going to get this pyro spot, like, once a year or so.
Yeah.
No, because didn't it start with Orton and somebody? Orton and Cena, maybe?
The last big one I can remember, or the first big one I can remember, was when Ryback put Cena through the, not the Tron, but the big light display, and they went backstage.
Yeah.
It was like a Falls Count Anywhere match or something. And then they just
it was
right
a last
there.
man standing match.
That's what it was, yeah.
I mean, there was a match where they actually used the pyro. Like somebody laid somebody down there and was going to ignite all the pyro.
I don't remember this.
I think it was Orton and Cena. Beanbags is saying that as well. So,
oh wait, well, back when we had the raising the cage thing, it was around then.
Yeah, no, it does sound familiar. Real quick, this is what Blue was saying in the live chat. You know, most people come out of these matches looking weak, especially with, you know, Cena or going against Cena. So what did you guys think as far as Rusev goes? Do you think Rusev still looks strong in this match, or do you think that this loss hurt him?
I think he does look weaker. I mean, he said, I quit, and that's been independently verified. Like, people have translated to the effect of I quit, and he's lost his manager. His manager abandoned him after he drove her away. I'm not saying he can't build himself back up, and he still is a very imposing figure. But yeah, it's just the effect of going up against Cena. All too often, you got guys coming out looking a lot worse. I mean, at least it's not a Damian Sandow situation. But yeah, what did this do for Rusev? I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I'm in agreement. This definitely hurts Rusev's image. It hurts the character that they've spent the last year and a half, almost 2 years building. So yeah, I'm disappointed with this booking style that they haven't been able to figure out how to, you know, keep Cena being Super Cena without destroying whoever he's up against. So, but as far as, where Rusev goes from here. Yes, this week on Raw, he continued to look weak and, just overall, just the opposite of how he's been built up previously. But he is involved in the Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship. So there is that.
Yeah.
So he's not completely, quote unquote buried, but, I definitely do think it was against the character that they have built for him already. So, all right. Any other match, that you guys want to talk about?
The Divas tag match. Well, first of all, I thought it was okay. Nothing astounding, but yeah, everybody did a good job. But that super kick that Brie took on the apron, my God, that was the stiffest looking kick I've seen from anybody in a long time. And I think it's because Brie was standing too close. But yeah, how she still has teeth, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that was definitely, that was pretty stiff.
Yeah, it's probably the stiffest thing she's gotten in a while.
Man.
Hey-o.
Low-hanging fruit, man.
Yep. I am not one to shy away from the low-hanging fruit.
By the way, this was another 6-minute match on a pay-per-view. So give Divas a chance. Do you think this helped or hurt the overall credibility of the Divas?
I don't think it changed anything. I don't think it necessarily helped either. I mean, it was better. I think it was a little bit better work than we've seen recently. I mean, it was consistent, but I don't necessarily think I don't think it hurt it. I mean, what would have hurt it if it would have been like a 30-second match?
Yeah, or if the Bellas had won that match. I think this is good for Naomi because she's got another win against the Bellas. So she still looks like a credible contender. How that might change now that Paige is back and Paige ran her into me and out of the ring, I don't know. But yeah, the Payback match itself, I agree with Joe. I don't think it really changed anything majorly.
Yeah, I don't either. I think this is just status quo. I really wasn't impressed by anything that took place, which is, whatevs. Okay, well, overall Payback, was it a good pay-per-view for you guys?
It was solid. I think I would rate it on the positive end of the scale.
Yeah, same here. I could have done with the U.S. title match being a lot shorter, but other than that, no real major complaints.
Yeah, for me, just like the last event, I went in with low expectations, and I thought, what we knew we were going to get. I think we got all of our expectations. Yeah, the U.S. Championship match went way too long considering the story that they told. I didn't really like the filler editions of Truth versus Stardust. I think, the Divas tag match, I think it was added maybe Thursday or Friday. And it just felt like, I don't know, just like an afterthought. So, I don't know. But overall, I would agree with you, Joe, as far as it being on the positive side of the scale, but definitely, lower than the last event.
One thing I will say about the 3-hour, I Quit match, or at least it felt that way. They worked hard at telling that story.
Yeah.
It may not have, we probably would have liked it to be shorter, but everything they did in it, they did for a reason. My biggest complaint out of that whole damn match is anytime they put the mic to Cena and he's like, oh God, like he looks like he's in pain. What do you say, John? Do you quit? No.
Yeah.
It's like they had a half awake John Cena soundboard and they put the mic up to him and someone would hit the button and go, no. Do you give up, John? No. Not, oh, no. It's no. So terrible.
Yeah. Agreed. So pay-per-view picks, I came in last place with 4 correct picks out of 7. We predicted 7 matches just because we did not have the Divas at the time, nor did we have the Truth versus Stardust match. Joe, you had 5 correct picks, and Nick took the win. 6
Go to
correct
hell, Nick.
picks. Yeah, 6 correct picks. Great job.
That's what's up. Oh, also, Ascension win. Long overdue. Great job.
Yes, agreed.
All right, so let's get into some other news and notes from WWE. So as we saw this week on Raw, it looks like Dolph and Lana are a thing, or, you know, maybe it's just a way to get Rusev to appreciate Lana. I mean, where do you guys see this going? Where is this heading?
I kind of wonder if this wouldn't be better for Dolph to have Lana as a manager, because he's been going nowhere fast, and Lana has proven to be a pretty good manager, so it certainly wouldn't hurt. Also, this move makes me wonder if those moments where the accent slipped when she was coming out to talk to Rusev, it makes me wonder if that's intentional. Like, maybe since she was living over there for so long, she picked it up. It's just an affectation. And now that she's with an American, living in America, maybe she reverts back to American Lana. Or, I don't know, maybe even use the real name, CJ Perry.
As far as Lana and Dolph goes, I like the rumor that it's a work and that, like, they're planning to pull the wool over Ziggler's eyes for something. Like, Lana's going to turn on Ziggler to help Rusev. I don't want to see these two split. I know the rumor, and I've also heard the rumors they're going to keep them or get them back together because they don't like the fact that all the fans are like, "Oh, we want Lana," and they're jumping the gun on their story idea. But
there was quite a few times, like you said, Nick, where she slipped, where she was no longer carrying that accent. But at the same time, I almost attributed it to the fact that she was saying so much. You know, usually when Lana is talking, it's very short sound bites. It's very short sentences, but this was like full paragraphs and she was putting emotion into it. So that's the only thing I can really attribute to as far as like why this felt different than her other promos that she's done.
There have been promos where she's been fairly long-winded and this didn't happen. The getting emotional bit, maybe, but like the accent didn't drop at all when she was speaking Russian, only when she was speaking English. So, and it's not like the accent is really faked. Like she only picked it up maybe a few weeks before she started this gimmick. Like, she lived over there for a long time. So
right.
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's intentional. I think it's the American Lana starting to shine through.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what my predictions are at this point, just because it's so early on. But either or makes sense. You know, if the rumors are true and, you know, WWE does want to push her as the next major face, I think that's the way you go about it, is having her drop the whole accent. But that's really odd. That's almost Maria odd. I don't know if you guys remember, but Maria was like that really nerdy character, and then all of a sudden, the last like 6 months of her career, she completely dropped and went to like a regular voice. Do you remember Maria Kanellis?
Yeah, vaguely.
I don't remember her really speaking. I just remember her, you know, like blowing kisses to the crowd and wearing her like Santa Claus outfit.
Okay. Diva Joe remembers, I bet. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it would just be awkward just to drop it all of a sudden. But, you know, at the same time, to split them up in real, just because of their real life, relationship, it doesn't quite make sense. Like, I don't know why they would go that route. So, but I like them better together. I don't like this part of it because, it does put Rusev in a bad spot. Like, there's no win for Rusev, as long as Lana is not by his side. Yeah. So, all right. Neville versus Bo Dallas. This was the big feud, when Bo, was leaving NXT, when Neville first got the NXT championship. And it looks like we might be getting that on the main roster. Are you excited, Nick?
Excited? No. Certainly it would be the most interesting thing Bo Dallas has ever done on the main roster, but it could be good. I just have to wait and see if this is actually going to be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was good when they did in NXT. If they're just going to rehash it briefly, I don't care. If they're actually going to make a lengthy storyline out of this, my question then becomes why. We've already seen this. If it's because, well, majority of the WWE audience hasn't seen it, well, too bad. They did it for too damn long in NXT for them to rehash it. It's completely different than Owens and Zayn, where WWE fans have not seen that, which is why it works in that instance.
For them to go long term with it, you would almost need a title to be a part of it, so that there's something that they're fighting over. But if it's just them two going back and forth for months at a time, that's hard to wrap my head around as far as like why WWE would go that route. But it should be, I mean, regardless of how long they run with it, it should be a good feud just because they do have the history of working together. They know how to bring the best out of one another. So yeah, by all means, I think this should be really fun to watch.
Yeah, this does feel like just a short-term thing just to kind of get Neville away from Barrett for a while. As good as Neville versus Barrett has been, that really English or Brit versus Brit, king versus peasant, that kind of has a short shelf life to it. So yeah, I'm glad they decided not to drag that out and decided to try something else with Neville, even if it's not entirely new.
Are you surprised that Neville was left out of the Intercontinental Championship chamber match at Elimination Chamber?
Not if they're really making a big deal out of this knee injury. Like, if that's going to be a thing, it makes sense that Neville would be out of contention for a while, especially since this is in the Elimination Chamber. So yeah, I think that was understandable.
But his replacement is R-Truth.
I mean, R-Truth has been in that picture for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's not great, but it makes sense.
Oh yeah, I'd rather see Neville there than R-Truth, but if Neville's not going to be in there and there's a legitimate storyline reason for it, then yeah, again, it's understandable.
All right. What about the Zack Ryder and Fandango tag team? What do you guys think about that? You think it's a one-time deal, or is that something that they might move forward with, or should move forward with?
I'm hoping they do, because it gives both guys something to do. We could always use more tag teams.
We've got like 7.
I know, but we need more. We need more because, frankly, we don't have enough.
It's never enough.
Never enough. I just don't think that, like, Los Matadores, really. Nobody's given a crap about them in how long?
Would Ryder and Fandango be different?
They have potential to be if they can get the crowd behind them. I mean, that's all entirely on them at this point. But at least it'd be something different to try out for a little bit. That's the best thing I can tell you.
Yeah, I'd rather see Zack Ryder and Fandango tag team than see the Ascension in that spot.
Oh, no, I would still rather see the Ascension.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Fandango in a tag team, I can get behind that, but I'd rather they held off. If they ever do decide to make the decision that Fandango's a tag team wrestler for the next 6 months, I'd rather they wait until they brought Tyler Breeze up, because that team makes a lot more sense to me than Fandango and Ryder.
Fandango and Tyler Breeze?
Yeah.
Welcome to the mid-year drunk show.
Really?
Fandango
Breeze is a model. Fandango is a ballroom dancer.
2 different occupations.
I mean, if you're going to stick Breeze with anybody, you should put him with Ziggler. They're practically the same person at that point.
Not since Ziggler stopped dyeing his hair.
Give him time. That's like 20 minutes in a bottle.
Yeah.
Ziggler's a comedian. I get the feeling that Breeze would turn his nose up at that in a heartbeat.
Breeze,
Kayfabe.
Yeah, I think Breeze.
Yeah, that's in kayfabe.
Breeze would make more sense with The Miz, I think, as far as if you're going to put him with anyone on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would be a good pairing. I did like the pairing of Breeze and Adam Rose that we saw. Was it this? Yeah, it was just last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly that's never going to happen because Breeze super kicked him in the face. But yeah, Miz does make more sense gimmick wise than Fandango. So that does it. Fandango can never be a tag team wrestler ever.
Although Fandango and Adam Rose could probably do well.
Yeah, I mean, and they could call themselves Don Flamenco.
I don't see it just because Adam Rose is really leaning into that heel turn now.
Doesn't mean you couldn't turn Fandango.
Yeah, but what would be the point since he just turned face and Rosa left him to go be with Adam Rose?
All I know is if he cries, then he can change, just like the Big Show does.
Fandango and Big Show?
I don't know. Big Show does need a new tag team partner. He gets a new one every year. Just about. Then there was that weird period where he had like 3 in the span of like 3 months. Like 1 month he was with Jericho, 1 month he was with Miz. I forgot who the third was. Fandango and Disco Inferno. Robert, you are a damn smart man.
Fandango and Mizco Inferno.
No.
Mizco Inferno. Dude, I can't wait for Damien Sandow to pick up on that one.
All right. So Elimination Chamber is also coming up at the end of the month. We're going to be previewing it on FTPW268. Oh, which is next week. Yeah. My bad. So yeah. So next week we're going to be previewing that. So really, May has become like a really heavy wrestling month, which is great to see. So far the card right now is John Cena versus Kevin Owens. We've got a chamber match for the tag team championships. It's going to be New Day versus Cesaro and Kid, Lucha Dragons, the Primetime Players, Ascension, and Los Matadores. We also have a chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's going to be Sheamus, Ryback, Rusev, R-Truth, Ziggler, and King Barrett. Once again, we're going to be previewing that in full next week. I'm sorry. And also the WWE Championship will be online. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Real quick, guys, do you think this is going to be a full 3-hour pay-per-view, or do you think it's going to be like a 2-hour special, or?
They came out and said it was going to be 3 hour.
Did they?
Yeah, but I mean, really, that's just a Raw. So, I mean, to me, it's not any extra booking. They could put Raw recaps in the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what else they would put in there.
We got a Divas match.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Divas. Though the chamber matches can go quite a bit. Go quite
Yeah,
long.
that's what I was thinking.
Especially with the tag teams.
Cena isn't going to be in the chamber, is it?
No. I think that's outside the chamber.
Yeah.
I think that's a missed opportunity, but...
You can't put what is this, TNA? You can't put every match in the cage.
By the way, last year's Elimination Chamber event was 8 matches, including a kickoff. The chamber matches themselves, one lasted 37 minutes, and nope, that was the only one. So yeah, so about 40 minutes per Elimination Chamber match.
Plus any video packages, all that rot. I mean, that'll take up 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm looking up the year before we had the other Elimination Chamber match was 31 minutes.
Right.
So yeah, if you've got 2, that's an hour's worth of wrestling.
Yeah, at least.
So maybe it will be a short card. Like maybe we'll get like a Divas Championship match, Paige versus Naomi versus Nikki, and then that's it.
I wonder if we wouldn't get a number 1 contenders match between Paige and Naomi.
I would say no, just because Naomi really hasn't gotten that singles match except for this week on Raw, but then that ended the way it did.
Yeah.
There is talk in the live chat about doing a chamber match for the Divas Championship, but I can't. That's not going to happen. But you do have enough competitors. You've got Nikki, Brie, Paige, Naomi, Tamina, and a 6th being Charlotte if she debuts. But yeah, that's not going to happen.
I mean, you could, but it's only going to last. It's going to take longer to bring the cage down than it will for the match.
Yeah.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool though. I'd be into that. All right, so right now I think we're going to just go ahead and jump into win fail and close up tonight's free portion of the conversation. If you are a paid member of the community over on patreon.com/fans talk. We're going to probably go on for another 20 to 30 minutes as we got some TNA stuff to talk about, some GFW news, and some more WWE conversation to have. So stay tuned for that. But win fail.
Women wrestlers aren't getting paid? Why do you do a job?
Here is your win.
You do any job,
And fail
is to fucking get paid!
of the week. Joe, what was your win of the week?
Kevin Owens, John Cena. That tease for that and that setup was phenomenal. The fact that Owens left him just laying dead in the ring was beautiful. that really got me excited for wrestling going forward. It's something fresh, it's something new, and it left fucking John Cena lying in the middle of the ring.
I'm trying to decide if I just want to echo that because it's so awesome. You know what? Actually, I will go with something different because the New Day has been equally as awesome, I think. Just between Raw and Payback, they've been on fire. So yeah, I'll give them my win.
Man. From the live chat, we've got the Shield triple powerbomb, Kevin Owens stepping on the U.S. Championship, Kevin Owens' powerbomb on Cena. We've got Owens versus Cena booked for Elimination Chamber, a win for Bo Dallas's work on commentary. Dario Cueto on Lucha Underground, his reaction to El Patron going through his window. For me, my win of the week is definitely going to go to the Kevin Owens John Cena segment as a whole. I thought everything that happened was just great. It was just great to see. You know, they didn't waste the debut in a match just to have Cena win. It was, you know, a good talking segment where we were introduced really to his character. The way commentary built Kevin Owens, I thought was fantastic. Cole and Booker T, just the way they talked about Owens was just great. So yeah, everything about that segment was fantastic. Fails. What was your fail of the week, Joe? Joe, you're muted.
God damn it. My fail is myself for being muted. The other one would be, God, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't mute myself and fuck up. The other one would be Bo Dallas on commentary. He just sounds like a whiny little girl the entire time. And I know that's part of the deal, but like, at least sound like you've been through puberty. Just wasn't my bag there.
Nick?
I will say, despite my hatred is too strong a word, but dislike doesn't really cover it. Despite my voice sentiments about Bo Dallas, I did enjoy that one little spot where he called Booker T Mr. T, and Booker T's response, it wasn't much of a response, but there was a very strong undertone of "you motherfucker." That was great. My fail. What gets my fail? I guess just this flop of an ending with the Cena Rusev angle. I'm glad it's finally come to an end, but yeah, that was just a mediocre ending.
All right, so some fails from the live chat. We've got the Cena win in a match that was way too long. The Wolves defeating the Dirty Heels over in TNA. Also the Kurt Angle spot, the EY spot over on TNA when he took Chris Melendez's leg and used it as a weapon on Kurt Angle.
Yoink!
Really? That was good.
I like that as well. Failed Naomi's failure to capture the Divas Championship. And yeah, I guess. Oh, TNA's team for the Lucha World Cup: Matt Hardy, Anderson, and someone else. I don't remember who was that other person. B-Megs. That's the team I remember as well.
I can't remember either.
But yeah, I don't know. For me,
was it Spud?
I don't know.
No, I know it wasn't him.
But yeah, my fail in general is TNA. I'm really disappointed with the idea that they cannot put on a show this week because it's a holiday. It's a U.S. holiday. So there is no new show this week. We're going to get a replay of Slammiversary from last year. And I think that's a major disappointment to a lot of fans. I just don't get it. I don't get the idea that it's going to be a holiday. So why show new content?
Team TNA is Matt Hardy, Mr. Anderson, and Johnny Mundo.
That's not very TNA.
On Wikipedia, the entry is literally Team TNA / Lucha Underground.
Ugh, awful.
And also Team ROH is Team ROH / Lucha Underground with Brian Cage rounding out their team of Moose and ACH. And then there's literally a team Rest of the World with Drew Galloway and Helico and El Mesias. But I don't know why you couldn't put Drew Galloway on Team TNA.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's dumb.
Because they won't even call him Cage.
But by the way, Diva Jill is saying that it's probably Destination America's decision. Yeah, I've heard that too. as far as TNA not showing anything, or as far as not putting out new content. I don't care whose fault it is, but that's just dumb. That's just dumb. So, all right. Final thoughts before we head out. And once again, stay tuned. Everyone who's over on the Patreon side will be sticking around with you guys for a little bit longer. But any final thoughts, Joe, Nick?
Nope. My boner for Takeover is unstoppable.
Okay. Awesome.
That's a little awkward.
And with that, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for everyone for being here. Everyone in the live chat, thank you so much. Let's continue the conversation over on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are. Leave a rating or review if you can. Definitely spread the word. And yeah, definitely spread the word. Let people know that this is where you come to talk about wrestling each and every week. For Joe, Nick, and all who have come here to talk wrestling with us, we will see you next Tuesday. And we're back here inside the little squared circle of trust that we've got going on. It's been a while. It's been a while since we recorded some extra content for you guys. So hopefully, you didn't miss us too hard.
Oh, so hard.
So, let's see. On the main conversation, we talked about, WWE Payback. We talked about NXT Takeover. We talked about Elimination Chamber. Money in the Bank is coming up too. That's like early June. So, yeah, the preview for that is going to be on FTPW270. Yeah, that's crazy. We've got pretty much a packed week every week moving forward until after Money in the Bank. And even after that, we've got, on 272, we've got the TNA Slammiversary pre-show. That's huge.
We have a lot going on.
Yeah, because before we were having a good mixture of like 2 shows with like big events, and then a week in between that we could like do whatever, and then back to like a pay-per-view pre-show of some sort. But I don't think we're gonna get that this time.
No, I don't think so either.
So okay, what else? What else happened this week that you guys want to talk about?
That's a good question. Oh, well, okay. So with Sami Zayn facing off against John Cena recently, and then this week with Kevin Owens coming and doing it, I got the impression that Owens came through with saying, well, if Sami Zayn can do it, fuck it, I can do it. I'm going to take on John Cena. And this is the kind of thing that really made me think about the brand extension we had back in the WWE in the early 2000s. Was that long ago?
Yeah.
Where Raw guys were Raw guys, SmackDown guys were SmackDown guys. We had the draft. And, when they actually did a cross-promotion show, it was something to watch. This is the kind of thing that I don't know about you guys, but did you kind of get a little bit of that vibe there going between NXT and Raw?
I didn't personally, because it doesn't seem like they're repping NXT. Yeah, they've got that big splash page on the Tron, but aside from that, Sami Zayn wasn't talking about repping NXT. Kevin Owens certainly wasn't talking about repping NXT. Kevin Owens was just there for himself. So I know there's a whole lot of talk about NXT eventually being groomed for that purpose to maybe become another brand on the level of a Raw and SmackDown. I don't think they're going to push it that far. I think they're going to settle somewhere in the middle of another brand and developmental. Like you've got guys that clearly can go with anybody on the main roster, guys like Zayn, Owens, Neville, but I don't think they're going to go the full extent of like Raw versus SmackDown or anything like that.
I think they're going to tease it. I think this is the beginning of that, where they are teasing something. I mean, while Owens didn't